A 19-year-old Cruz Beckham went official with his 29-year-old girlfriend, Jackie Apostell, earlier in the year. And it has been reported that Mum Victoria had maybe some initial concerns about the age gap relationship, but she has now given the couple her blessing. So, Judy, how would you feel if your boy, I know he's a wee bit young for that yet, but at 19, if he came home with a 29-year-old...
She's just had a 30th birthday. I'm going to throw that in. Yeah.
38.
Oh,
yeah.
that just adds fuel to the fire. I probably wouldn't be happy. I probably wouldn't be happy. I think I would have my concerns. I just think I would be thinking, like, what is that person's maturity level and emotional maturity level? Because if it is as it should be or advanced or whatnot, what are you seeing in my 19-year-old son? Not saying that he won't be mature then, but I just think there's such different life experiences that contribute to how you think and how you perceive the world. So it's either that, you know, you are quite immature, or there's something else you might want from my son, which would be his youthfulness. Yeah. So I think, I think I would be a bit like, you know, I'd be concerned. The same if it was my daughter. Oh, I think I'd be even more concerned if it was my daughter. And I don't think I could hide it. I probably would have that conversation with my children and say, yeah, Mummy's not... I don't know what this is about, but I would invite them to the home, try and see them, because I'd be concerned about manipulation. I'm not saying this is what this lady is doing and anybody else has done, but I'm just saying, me personally, I'd be concerned about manipulation, all these other little things which is, you know, can happen because of that age gap and because of the level of maturity they have over somebody else.
And if these concerns persisted, you would feel that you would say something?
Yeah, if I started to see a change in my child's behaviour, character, you know, security, then I definitely would. I would say something.
That's the hard thing as parents when they become adult kids. When do you say something, Miley, and when do you just let it happen?
It's interesting because I wouldn't say something because I wouldn't want to lose my daughter. And I speak from experience because I wasn't allowed boyfriends, and my parents were, you know, they're very, very strict in making sure that didn't happen. And it was
any boyfriend?
Steady boyfriends. You can go on dates with boys, but they were adamant they didn't want me to have a boyfriend. Right. And it was the first time I really started lying to my parents.
Up until what age?
Now.
Right, OK, we get it.
It's been quite an ongoing thing. I don't know if it's a cultural thing, I don't know if they had expectations of what they wanted me to fulfil, but what it does is if you stop your children speaking to you, then they're going to do it anyway. And I'm, you know, living proof of that. Saying that, you use the word wary at the top of the show. I would be extremely wary because when you've got a 19-year-old with a 30-year-old, later down the line, there's always going to be someone who's got an exception to the rule. We've got a 20-year age gap and we're OK, we're 20 kids down the line. Well, that's later. But when you're 19, you've got no life experience.
But are we putting too much store on age? I mean, line up 100 19-year-olds and you'll get 100 different people. Line up 100 30-year-olds.
But 19-year-olds also date younger girls. Let's say a 19-year-old boy in the friendship group will bring a 17-year-old girl in. You've got a 30-year-old woman sitting with 17-year-old girls. There's very little in common. The power dynamics, it almost feels predatory, and that is what I'm uncomfortable with.
Yeah, I do get it when you put it into that wider social setting rather than isolation. What do you think, Cole?
My worry would be, I mean, I'm like you in the respect that I wouldn't say you can't go out with them, they're too old, whether it was Kira with a 30-year-old or one of the boys, because I wouldn't lose my children over anyone. I mean, over the years, they've brought, you know, girls home where I thought, oh, this isn't right. But I'd never say it because I think they'll sort it out themselves. It's none of my business. The other thing is, I would be worried about the heartbreak. I would just think one of you is going to go through massive heartbreak here.
But heartbreak's part of life,
no, exactly.
You know?
So that's what would be my worry. But I wouldn't say it to them. Yeah. I'd just be prepared for it.
They have been successful.
But then there's been really successful...
Yeah, there is.
Very successful... you know, big age gap relationships, like you said. I'm sure we'll get loads of people going, there's 20, 30 years between us and we're blissfully happy.
I think I just worry about this whole... I'm trying to get rid of this whole concept of this lose my children kind of thing. Like, I just feel like we're in such a stage, and it is worrying, of being so concerned like upsetting the kids that we're not actually speaking the truth regards to.
That is an interesting thing.
Because I made mistakes. I'll let you do it.
You have to make mistakes.
Would your mum have told you?
Mistakes, but it doesn't mean we can't say something.
No, you
to
can guide them, but it won't necessarily mean they're going to listen.
Listen, yeah,
because
definitely.
they have to make their own mistakes.
Yeah, but there is an honesty about it. I do get what you're saying, because I think it is very much the modern way is, well, you don't want to lose your kids, so you don't comment, and they live their own lives, and you're there to support, and you just catch them if they fall and all that kind of stuff. But if you really don't like somebody or you've really got concerns about it, then are you just being, you know, inauthentic there? And you're going along with it, yes, it's lovely, dear, where actually you've got real concerns.
No, because as long as my kid is happy in that situation, my kid's happy with someone,
well, what if you thought they were in, you know...
No,
I wouldn't say abusive relationship, but in an unhealthy relationship.
Well, if I saw any trait of that, then obviously I wouldn't just have a conversation with my child. I'd have a conversation with the person and go, I'm watching you.
Yeah.
You better be careful what you do with your child. I'd have a conversation.
And maybe
with
that's
the
right.
person.
Maybe that's the way. Maybe addressing them instead of
say,
just
I've got concerns. Yeah.
It's just parenting is just...
You just don't want to lose your children, and anything that drives a wedge between the person, but I love him, until you get to a point where that emotional maturity kicks in. And it's a scientific fact. You don't get your prefrontal lobe until 25 as a woman, and men don't reach emotional maturity until 43. You can't argue with the facts. But women... 43?
43?
Men.
Hold on.
But women
my
are 32.
dating requirements has changed. I need a 62-year-old. This is crazy.
But women reach it at 32, so it's already imbalanced.
Yeah.